Howdy everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Faab Five campaign here on the Random Rhapsody Network. I'm Matthew R. Dawson, your friendly neighborhood host and GM, and joining me around the virtual table today are Alyssa, Joe, Koines, and Kyle. Say hi, everyone.
Good time!
Yo!
Now, unfortunately, Jeremy will not be with us this week, but we wish him the very best. We've also got a few scheduling announcements to get through today. First off, we will be airing the next episode of our test play of Magi Knights, An Echo from the Stars, this Wednesday, September the 21st at 7 p.m. Central. Also, we have 3 new one-shots coming up for the holiday season. The conclusion to our summer one-shot, The Defenders of the Wall, will be on Sunday, September the 25th at 5 p.m. Central, which will be hosted by me. Next off, we have our Halloween one-shot, The Hunt for the Trask, which will be aired on Sunday, October the 23rd, and hosted by Kyle Thomas of the Faab Five. Finally, I'm pleased to announce that our final one-shot for 2022 will be on Monday, December the 19th, and hosted by Briana McKnight from the Debauchery Circus. You can keep up to date on all of our scheduling by following us on Facebook as Random Rhapsody TV and on Twitter as @random_Rhapsody. Okay, that should do it for the announcements. So join us as we dive into the world of Loroupa and continue on with the adventures of the Faab Five. Okay, and we're back. So when we last left off, the Faab Five had traveled to Rowina, the oasis capital of the Margarden Federation, in an attempt to acquire one of the dream roots from the Erudite Conclave. For the Erudite Conclave, not from, for. To accomplish this goal, Apollyon and Rhim had entered the Azure Championship Gladiator Tournament, while Blood, Eloise, and Veil were recruited to help the Tabaxi mastermind Shadows in the Wind to break into the vault of the Federation's Zaim. Unfortunately for the group, by the time they had completed their goals, the root had already been given away, which left the party wondering whom the relic could have been gifted to. That mystery, at least, was soon solved when Apollyon demanded to know everything the Zaim knew about the cult of the Dreamer, which caused the Zaim to teleport them both away to a hidden lounge where the Zaim casually made himself a drink and then reclined on his throne while the Minotaur asked his questions. It turns out that the Zaim had given the root to Ivak Abir, the High Priestess of the Church of the Five, several days ago, at her request. He also learned that Grovagar was in fact the Zaim's son, and that the Zaim himself was an ancient dragon who had been trapped on this world millennia ago, and had created not only Rowina and the Margarden Federation, but Apollyon's tribe as well. For centuries, it turned out, the dragon had infused that tribe with his essence, which eventually culminated in Apollyon's birth. The Zaim also revealed that the Dreamer cult, that if the Dreamer cult succeeds in restoring the Dreaming Tree, the Dreamer would, in all likelihood, return to reclaim Loroupa for his own. Not that this fact bothered the Zaim too much. He admitted that returning the Dreaming Tree to this planet would open the planet up to the material plane, or open the material plane up to the multiverse, which would allow the dragon to leave it once again. But the Zaim also admitted that he liked being here, and he liked his world that he had created, the Cerulean Syndicate and everything. So overall, he didn't care either which way, whether or not the cult succeeded or not. Now, as a parting gift, the Zaim transformed to reveal his true form, a sapphire dragon. And he breathed his essence into the Minotaur, causing Apollyon to sprout wings out of his back. And then he kind of just, kicked him out and told him to go back and find his friends, wishing him luck if he chooses to stand against the Dreamer army. And so, Faab Five, you are all no doubt anxious as hell about your friend's disappearance, but then that anxiety turned to relief once he returned. And that sent you all on a shopping trip into the bazaar for a few fun items. But there are also at least a few things that you wanted that were a little too exotic to be found there. Instead, you decided to try the resale shop owned by Blood's mentor Kazik. But as you are all negotiating and discussing his wares, the great dragon Apollyon had just met and that you all stole from discovered that his vault had been broken into, and his fury was unleashed upon the city. Your group wasted no time in deciding to flee, creating a teleportation circle right there in Kazik's shop, while all of Rowina shook around you from the attack. Veil transported you all to the nearest place you could think of, the Conclave's hidden research station, which was several days' journey north of the city. Your sudden arrival, without a warning, was met with crossbows and a lot of shouting, which is becoming a regular thing for your group, it seems. But as you all cried out to identify yourselves to the researchers stationed there, a question comes to each of your minds. And that question is, what back home, in your original home, do you miss in particular? And since Eloise, you're the one who rolled, why don't you go ahead and go first?
I miss any physical particular thing. I am so distracted by the cute puppy. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know, right?
We'll get into stuff if I don't hold her.
It's okay. Yeah, I don't think I miss any one thing in particular. Maybe the simplicity and the peace of it.
I mean, that is fair. Since leaving your father's home, your life has been nothing but chaos and violence and really, really sad events, one on top of another. So, yeah, I kind of get that. Okay, I like it. Blood from a Stone and his cute, adorable puppy.
Kitty cat with a puppy, that's right.
Mm-hmm. What do you miss from your home?
The deserts of the Margon Federation are rather interesting. The weather can be rather unpredictable, and so it was always just fun and fascinating to watch storms move across the desert in the distance. And there was no harm, there was no threat. You weren't under any kind of danger from sitting out and just watching tornadoes move past or thunderstorms move in the distance. And then every weekend, my mother would make wyvern stew for the entire village. It was much simpler times.
That wyvern stew. Imagine it's a little stringy, but braised low, it probably turned out pretty good.
It's rather delicious. It's an acquired taste, maybe, but it's rather delicious.
Apollyon, we lost you on camera. Are you still with us?
Yeah, I lost you guys.
Okay.
Well,
I'll refresh.
OBS.
But yes, when Apollyon was a boy, he used to love the didgeridoos and the drums, the circle at night, where everyone would sing and dance together and play music. Those were much simpler times, before all the bloodshed, before the endless enemies.
Okay.
Dark.
Yeah, like it. Liam, how about you?
Well, back home I spent a lot of time in the forest and the trees, and I got accepted into a group of primates. We painted our faces and became a group until I one day eventually had to leave, and I kind of miss leaving them.
I like it. Okay. Well, yeah, Faab Five.
Wait, did
What?
you just make your backstory that you were raised by monkeys, chimps, apes?
Raised by, he had teenage years, and the teenage years are unwritten, really, so I just kind of threw something in. You got a problem with it?
I was just like,
Wyvern stew?
are you our Tarzan? Dude, I absolutely love. I'm picturing Liam right now, learning like kung fu from Master Monkey. Maybe he doesn't have Jackie Chan's voice, but
No, I wrote in where he learned his martial arts from, but you don't know that.
Yep.
Oh, I love it though, dude.
Okay, Faab Five. Your hurried identification, combined with your conclave tattoos, that at least most of you have, are enough to stop the researchers from riddling you all with crossbow bolts. And once you explain the situation and what you all had just fled from, the researchers are probably a lot more understanding about the fact that you just teleported in unannounced. About an hour later, you find yourselves in the small dining area of the research outpost, seated with a pair of senior analysts named Glorisag and Elias Castbringer, a pair of dwarven women who are also apparently married as well as being the team leaders of the outpost. Elias leads the conversation for the past hour, asking you questions about what happened to you all in Rowina, while Glorisag takes careful notes in a large book on her lap. Tea is provided, of course, during this time, as well as something stronger if any of you want some of that as well, which is a valid decision considering what you all just escaped from. Kazik, for his part, came with you and is content to stay back and observe the rest of you, since he isn't a member of the Conclave and, he doesn't really like to keep make too much attention to himself, considering his job. He does take some whiskey in his tea when offered, though. So, I suppose the first question I have for you all is, how much about the last few days do you all tell the analysts about during that interview?
Well, I and Apollyon, I assume, come forward proudly with our victory and winning the tournament and not losing any members and stuff like that. I kind of want to know how much you guys tell as well.
What was that, Apollyon?
I said Apollyon's going to do the same thing, just brag on his win. He's going to recap the whole battle with Grovagar and then talk about how the Zaim granted him these wings.
Can you tell him everything about the Zaim and the fact that he's a dragon?
Maybe... No, I don't tell him he's a dragon. I say he cast a spell on me.
Because I believe Eloise, the last session, the last thing you yelled is, "The Zaim is a dragon!"
Yeah.
I might have.
Was,
Eloise did. Eloise did for sure.
No, 100%.
And so there is a lot of pointed questions about that. How you know the Zaim is a dragon, why you think that is, what the dragon is currently doing, and all of that stuff. So I'm just I'm just curious how honest you are with them about it.
I'm curious too, because I haven't heard what you guys did on your heist mission yet.
Oh yeah, I know. Blood will be very forthcoming.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be deceptive about saying anything about him being a dragon. I'm just gonna say, yeah, he's a powerful ruler of this city. Honored to have met him.
If you're being deceptive, you gotta roll deception.
Oh, is that what he has to do, DM?
Mm-hmm.
It was in his statement of what he's doing, right?
I mean, yes, that's what I was getting ready to tell him to do, but go for it if you really want to tell him instead.
I hate when you do this to me.
Well, then give me a chance to tell him myself.
Yeah, that's a 4.
Yeah, that is a 4. Well, obviously you're not saying anything about the dragon, but Eloise did very much, and they do ask you multiple times why you think the Zaim is a dragon, and any information that you can give them about the dragon specifically. So Apollyon, like if you're just if you're like just really what I'm wanting to know, like if you're like you can just not say anything more about it, the fact other than he's just a dragon. Because Eloise did tell him that. Like, if you're not willing to give any information about your tribe and the conversation you had.
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything about that.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get at. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
If they already know he's a dragon, then like, yeah, sure, he transformed into a dragon and flew away. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, and like they with your 4 deception, like they can tell you're not being forthcoming, but for the moment at least, they're willing to not press the issue because there's a lot more information that they want to know about. Now, Blood, for your part, you and Eloise were the only 2 that were at the heist. Do you talk about that time there?
Yeah. He'll bring up because I mean he's got nothing too much to hide. I mean he won't maybe do every puzzle they had to go through, but I mean he would bring up the fact that their guide in, and he's not going to give him Shadow's name, but he said when he was in there before that he physically saw the Zaim transform into a dragon, and that is how he manipulated keys on a particular door that he had one in his tail and I guess one in each hand, or talons, or whatever a dragon has.
Okay.
So he physically saw them transform, and then there was a mural in the vault itself that was of a magnificent, I guess, is he a sapphire dragon?
Yeah, sapphire dragon.
Yeah, a magnificent sapphire dragon. And it just seemed kind of heavily implied. Also, I mean, we'd already heard that he was a dragon, but we believed that was supposed to be of him, that mural.
And I imagine you spend some time talking about the attack from your perspective. But from your perspective, like you heard the attack, you assumed what was going on, you looked outside, saw the thing flying overhead, and like, okay, peace out. So you don't really have a whole lot more information about the attack beyond that.
Yeah, we left pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
We didn't stick around for that.
So once you finish giving your report and everything, they finish up their notes and tell you that that if you're wanting to stay here for a little bit until shit dies down, you're certainly welcome to. They've got a lot of contacts they need to start reaching out to in Rowina and find out exactly what all's going on right now and that sort of thing. So they tell you just if you plan on leaving, please check in. But other than that, they're just gonna get to work to try to get more information beyond what you've already given them. And they give you a liaison to work with, one of the field researchers that are here on staff, just in case you need to ask anything, but like they don't have like the facilities an actual Conclave branch has. It's just a research outpost, so there's not a lot here. But you're certainly free to use the facilities and stay as long as you like. So while they head off to, go start making calls, what are you all wanting to do?
Wait, so just real quick, you're telling me, for the first time ever, I followed all the rules, I didn't cheat, I earned what I got, and I'm still part of the cheating crew. I can't... Okay.
Kiss Liam on the cheek. Like, it's okay. And I pat him on the shoulder.
Yeah, absolutely.
It'll be okay, buddy.
Well, this is kind of the first moment you've been able to be alone together since reunited once again. Veil, since he's not here, he's just sitting back and reading for right now. Like he's good. If you want the stuff in the portable hole, he'll lend you the portable hole, but otherwise he's just gonna stay back and read his book. So he puts the portable hole down, sits down, gets into his book, and he's not looking up unless you guys decide to go somewhere.
I suppose we could give them the things that we got for them. Did we get anything for Apollyon? I don't think we did.
I've actually got something for you there, Blood. So, you had lent me 30 arrows, if you remember correctly, and I used about half. So, to pay back the debt and then some, you now have 15 arrows and 15 plus 1 arrows.
Oh. I don't know. Well, didn't I give you 10 to close out? I mean, that's...
You gave me 30.
Oh, okay. Shit.
Yeah, you gave me like a whole freaking quiver. But I now have this thing, and with my old arrows plus the new arrows, I can't hold more than 60. So I'm giving up some arrows and
I guess
replenishing what you gave me. So you've got plus 1 arrows. Yeah. With your bow, you could throw away the other arrows technically.
And during this time, he will unattune from the hand crossbow and attune to his kick-ass new bow.
To the new bow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a super awesome name for it. It's not under party items. It's going to be under the heist crew stuff. Vault goodies. Hold on, that's right. The Kageyumi longbow.
Yeah, the Kageyumi longbow. What are you wanting to know about it?
I was just saying that's what I was looking for the name because it's just awesome sounding.
Oh, gotcha.
So yeah, that's what he's going to start attuning to.
Yeah, where did I put that?
It's under the heist crew vault goodies section.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
that's why I couldn't find it at first, and then I looked there, and that's where it was.
I'll go ahead and move it for you. Because you did grab a few different things. Like there was the Scarab of Protection.
That was Eloise's. And we were going to be giving the little thing that will help push his boat along. I can't remember what it was called.
Oh, the fan thing.
Fan token.
But I don't see it on here.
I might not have pulled it out.
Because I guess if I think Liam had mentioned that he got a boat. And so Blood would just be like, oh, well, we actually have this little item right here. Veil said something about it will produce a fan that'll actually give you wind behind a ship.
It's under heist crew and then vault goodies.
Yeah, it's feather token. I've moved it up since then.
Oh, okay, I got it. I didn't. Yep. But yeah, so that's this will actually work with your thing. So why don't you go ahead and take this?
Did your group take the Instrument of Illusions, or did the other one?
No, I think that went to Blazner.
Blazner? Okay. I don't remember. That? That's why I'm asking.
And the flying carpet, screw. I don't want that thing.
Okay, yeah. It looks like you, Blood. You got the Kageyumi longbow and the crossbolt of slaying.
Yes.
Veil took the feather token, and a necklace of fireballs for Liam.
Oh, that's right. That's what he got.
How many fireballs item or uses does it have?
3.
3 beads. Okay.
And doesn't it do it at is it do it at 5th level? Is that what those beads usually are, or is it just regular 3rd level?
I think. Let me look real quick. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. No, it has 1d6 plus 3 beads. And it's just 3rd level. So let me. I'm going to just roll real quick.
Okay.
4. So it has 7 beads on it. Nice.
Sweet. Did we get anything for the big dog? For Apollyon?
For Apollyon?
I don't remember if we found anything that would have actually... I mean, the motherfucker got wings, so...
Yeah, I don't think y'all grabbed anything for him.
Oh, and I guess Blood will give out. He's like, nah, Liam...
+3 weapon would be cool.
These are probably rather potent. And he's going to hand him those 2 bottles of alcohol that he got. He goes, just don't... I mean, these are good sipping. You sip these. You don't just guzzle. These are sipping whiskeys.
Yeah, what you got there is some really freaking expensive bottles. I don't remember how many I told you there was in total.
I think you gave me 2.
2 of them. So they're like 300-year plus bottles.
Oh, wow.
Of whiskey. They're like super freaking old.
And before Blood has a chance to fully even let go of the bottles and hand them over, Liam is full on embracing the hug, like you can't escape it.
He's patting him, doing the bro pat. He's like, yeah, I got you. I know. I looked for those specifically for you. I had you in mind when I searched for that. So.
Yeah, Togapika is in chat right now. He redeemed advantage for Eloise's next roll. So, whatever you roll the next time, you have advantage. And he also is confirming that, yeah, he has the carpet, and he gave the instrument to Blazner.
So, yeah. And then, I don't know, I guess what we have that Apollyon would like.
Well, that was really kind of it, yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, he already had. Yeah, well, yeah, you got 22 grand in gold, so I guess there's that. And then, we said aberrations for that crossbow to sling. Okay, yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
I got 22,000 gold.
Yeah, it's like 22,480, I think, per person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
All right, I need
ridiculous.
to add that to my character.
Yeah.
Yep, already dropped over half of it. Haha.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just kind of going over that, and then Blood will like slink over to Kozak if he's sitting in the corner. I apologize. We seem to have kind of blown up your world there.
Yes, this is not exactly where I was expecting it to end up. Where exactly are we?
Well, about that, where we are is just trying to remember we're nowhere at the moment. Now, this is, you know what the Conclave is, the Erudite Conclave. Have you heard of that?
He nods. Of course he has.
They, they've got locations and places in most of the countries of Loroupa. But, as you may have known, the Malgarden Federation doesn't really like outsiders. And so we don't. Well, I guess I can say we, since I am a member. Well, there's no branch in Rowina, and so we are kind of in a secret location, somewhat close to Rowina.
He kind of chuckles at that, and he says, "Not gonna lie, this is not exactly where I expected you to end up, being a member of the Conclave."
Well, I mean, I used to tell you the stories about. You know how my brother and I got into trouble. But I told you the stories about. We had some of those great teachers when we were younger, and we were searching for our history, the history of our people. And when I came across this group, and he kind of points to the rest of them, he's like, I mean, it kind of just fell into place. We ended up meeting one of their researchers in the field, and he helped us escape from the dream occult that I've been telling you about. And so we kind of just it was they send us out on difficult jobs and they pay us for it. But it's something I've I really take to it. It's that kind of that research, that hunting down history. And yeah, we get to get cool stuff, gold. I mean, I get to use my skills that you taught me on how to sneak in places and get out without being seen. So, I mean, they're not mutually exclusive, the Syndicate and the Conclave. Let's just say that.
He kind of rubs his chin thoughtfully as you're telling him about this, and he finally says, well, what is the plan from here? You just, how am I going to get back to Rowina?
That we're going to work on that. I don't know if... I mean, we'll see if you end up going with us to our next destination, or if they might want to, work with you and see if, they can't get some information from you. Maybe you can get them back into the city, or they can definitely get you back to Rowina. Well, I guess that'll be up to you if you want to go with us to our next destination or not. Because I have a feeling that the Zahim isn't done yet. And it might be a little hot to go back.
Kazik admits that, like, on the one hand, his shop being there and being destroyed is definitely a concern, but at the same time, the way it was looking, he wasn't sure if he would survive the attack, so probably being with y'all was the smarter move. But he's not looking to join y'all long term or anything like that.
I fully understand that. And I mean, just think, the upstairs might take damage, but I mean, they're never going to get into... I mean, I don't think the Zahim going crazy is going to touch our vault.
No.
And that's not the only spot we've got. You and I, we got hiding spots all over the city, so I think...
I'll be fine eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be fine, but the sooner I get back, the better. But at least for, a few days, it's good to be out of the city, I think.
I mean, yeah, if you don't end up traveling with us, like I said, you could probably stay here, and they can help you get back into the city.
I don't suppose you know any of those fancy teleport circles to get me back to Rowina, do you?
Actually, we do. What was the name of the brothel? The
Twin Sapphires, I believe, or something like that.
Now, I have never been there myself until this time. I just want to make that clear. This is me being honest here. I never asked you where you used to go when you went out for your proclivities, sir, but you said the jeweled sapphire, or the silvered sapphire?
It's like the Twin Sapphires.
Have you heard of the Twin Sapphire?
I do. Yes. It's run by a tiefling over there, about a few blocks away, actually.
Those cheeks getting a little red there.
Make an insight check.
I think it rolled in 19.
Yeah. With the 19, like, you've known him a long time. He did go to the occasional brothel, and based on that flicker in his eye, yeah, he's been there before.
Well, it so happens that there was one in their basement, and that's how we actually got out of the vault. So we could we might be able to send you back there. I mean, I suppose we could... I mean, if they can check in with their contacts in this city and see if that place is still there, like if it hasn't been leveled, Mr. Veil might be able to... He might be able to send you back.
And I imagine at that point, Veil would chime up, not even looking up from his book. It'll cost him, though.
Yes, yeah, I get it. I'll help you dig up another old couple, okay? Don't worry about it. Don't ask. He's probably... I mean, I would assume that Kozik probably looks at him like, the fuck?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Yeah, it's a long story.
Definitely.
You see those little gold rings on my boy's horns there? Yeah, that's their wedding rings. I'm not proud of it, I promise you.
He's going to reiterate once again, you've been getting into some interesting things since you've been gone.
unfortunately, sometimes necessity it breeds interesting bedfellows. Let's just say that. I mean, much like how you and I met, you didn't kill me when I tried to break into your house, and then our relationship started from there. Well, it's kind of what happened with these people.
Okay, yeah. So while that conversation is going on, Eloise, what's going on with you?
We're Conclave, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
We're still at the Conclave?
You're at the Conclave's hidden
Secret
research
location.
base.
Okay. I wanted to talk to someone about finding a way to either locate or find someone who has an item to keep them from being scryed on.
So you're looking
I'm looking
for
to see if there's a way to find Mitchell because I can't scry on him anymore.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay,
Because
I understand
of
what you're
the
asking.
necklace thingy.
So you like I said, you were given a liaison to work with you. One of the researchers here, a small halfling man. We're going to call him Xavier for the fun of it. And you pose this question to him, and he says, I'm not going to lie, but if he has something on him that's protecting him from scrying specifically, chances are the only way to get around it would be to dispel the magic of that item, or to get it off of him. There's no way to circumvent that sort of spell at a distance.
Other way to narrow down where he might be without being able to see him, like, from a distance?
Unfortunately, no. That's really the whole point of that sort of enchantment. Like, you can attempt to scry on things that might be nearby him. Like if you knew that he had a favorite thing that he carried with him and it just happened to not be on his person and he happened to be standing near it, that might work. But even still, like, he wouldn't appear in the spell. You'd be able to scry on the object that was, like, if, say, he had a book that was on the table. You could scry on that book and know where generally what's around that book. But if he were to step into range, you would not be able to see him because he's wearing the enchanted item. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if I'm explaining that well enough. So
It does. I just don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of the thing, is that it's made to block people from scrying if you don't want to be seen. So, and you could scry on people that were with them and try it that way, but if they have the similar thing, you would be running into the exact same problem. And an item like that also, like, if you tried to locate an object that he was carrying and it's on his person and he's also wearing that amulet, you wouldn't be able to locate the object either because it's on his person and the amulet is specifically blocking the location of that thing. Does that make so? Yeah. So unfortunately, with there's no real way to find somebody via scrying or that type of divination, so long as they wear an object like that.
Just to clarify, Matt, is that D6 roll for my necklace?
Yeah, you have 7 charges.
Yeah.
Oh, so I have 7 uses of level 3 fireball. Gotcha.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do you have any other questions along that veil or along that thread, Eloise?
No.
Okay.
Do you your research outpost, right? So you get information from absolutely all the other outposts or the conclave locations, right?
No, that's actually the opposite. We're a hidden location that is here to collect research. We send our research elsewhere to
So-
be disseminated.
Exactly the opposite of what I said. Gotcha.
Yes.
You give information. Good to know. Never mind. No questions.
Fair enough. Okay. Apollyon, what you got going on right now?
Oh, you guys and your fancy magic and talk. I just want to fight.
Well,
enough.
Yeah,
Polly,
Apollion's just
I happen
just
to
chilling. He's
notice
like counting his gold and.
you're wearing two belts there, but both of us were there for the championship. Shouldn't maybe one of those belts go to me?
Oh shit!
Apollyon claps Liam on the back. Oh, you're a funny one, friend.
I knew it was a long shot.
I mean, we could make you a belt if you wanted, Liam. I'm sure Miss Eloise could probably whip something up. She's very crafty.
I got a fancy necklace. I'm a spellcaster now. I have no need for a belt.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you. Yeah, that's what that means.
Definitely what that means.
Miss Eloise, about trying to track Mitchell. What about that dragonborn that was with him? I don't think he got one of those necklaces. Or maybe he did. I don't know, but I think he was. I can't remember if he went with him. We don't know if he split off from him from there, but you could try.
I immediately sit down, pull out my bowl, pull out my water skin, I fill it, and I'm gonna cast crying.
Sorry, everybody. I think I just set us on a new course.
Yeah. You just all watch as the moment he suggests that, Eloise just drops. That's pretty funny. Okay, so you're casting Scry on the gold scaled dragonborn that you saw with them. You saw him a few times now. You've seen him in one scrying on Mitchell, and you also saw him when he was because he was at the tournament in the Zaim's box on one occasion.
I think Liam's seen her do this a few times now, so he helps her with the setup and preparation and whatnot.
Yeah, it just means I have to actually look up his stats. So.
I see. Buried deep, deep into the files of the great DM.
Or just in the other Roll20 log.
So, Blood, I guess we're going to be with, we're going to meet up with, Master, Sir, him. That guy. Next. Think we lost Joe, he's...
Sorry, I was talking to my kid. All right, say that he came in all of a sudden out of nowhere.
He brought up Ohm and what we're going to do next.
Yeah. Apparently, Mr. Ohm has been requested to go to Illamithika because they have had a certain issue in those ruins to the south that my brother and I tried to get to. That I've told you all about before. And so he has been requested to go there, and he asked us if we would like to accompany him. And so I was very eager. I don't know about you all, but I am most interested in going.
Master Ohm. Sure, yeah, he's probably not going to judge me at all. That will be fun.
You've met him. You talked to him.
We'll be fighting. And all fighters and fighters that have ever been, he's home.
He seems very understanding. I don't think he's going to hold it against you. The things of your past.
I'm not worried about that anymore. I don't think I'm good enough fighter to fight in front of the great man.
Oh, well, hopefully we don't have to fight anything there. Because the last time I fought something there, it didn't go so well.
That's never been the case.
Well, we've got into fights where we did very well.
But we still had the fight.
Well,
You think we're
yes.
going to go all the way to Illonithica with one of the greatest fighters that has ever been, and there won't be a fight?
He's also a very skilled researcher. That's why he's going. But they're saying that there was some kind of an unknown disturbance. They didn't know what was happening at those ruins, and I guess it's been causing some issues, and that's why they brought in the Conclave, and why we get to go.
Okay, so I'm ready to make this roll now. Let's. What's your spell save DC? Is that right? 17, or is that not right?
Yes, 17 should be right.
Okay.
Give me a second. Let me double check.
I guess you get to add any modifiers because you don't know them firsthand.
Yeah, she doesn't know them firsthand, but she's more than vaguely familiar with them. So there's no really adds
0,
or there's no additions or subtractions to this. I'm going to assume I failed because that's a 10 plus 5, so 15. So even if I'm pretty sure your spell save is higher because of the Staff of the Woodlands you have again.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to.
I think it's a +1, didn't it?
I'm gonna do some math.
Regardless, I think he failed.
He did fail. So, Eloise, you cast your spell and begin gazing downward into the bowl. And at first, the bowl goes dark, but then begins to brighten once again. And you can see the old gold-scaled figure of a dragonborn with spectacles on the edge of his snoot, a little bit of a Fu Manchu beard going on, wearing dark blue robes and a simple tunic underneath. He's holding a clipboard in his hand, to which he kind of is writing things in every so often, which we'll get to here in a second. We'll see if you're able to see that. But he seems to be directing. He calls out, "No, you put that one over there. That goes over there. That one goes there. No, you idiot! You idiot! Stop what you're doing. Put that down. That we don't even need that over here right now." Go ahead and make a perception check.
$27.
Why do you have advantage? Oh, because of Togapika. Correct. Good. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. So with the 27, you can see that he's writing on the clipboard. It's in Draconic, but you're a Dragonborn, so you can read it just fine. And it seems to be a list of items, most of which, like, you've never heard of before. But you have at least a decent enough memory that you can remember a few of them. Most of them are like technical terms, and there's also some numbers and complex math that you don't really get. But I'm going to allow you to kind of read that off to Veil here in a little bit. You kind of just start saying out loud what it is you're reading on it, and it's incomplete. You can only see some of it because he's like just sitting there working on it. But every so often he writes down another thing and puts a little bit of a location here, C7, Mark 18, things like that. With the 20, while we're writing on that 27, The ground under his feet is dark, reddish brown. Seems to be hard-packed clay, or maybe earth, dirt of some type. It's difficult to tell. But he's standing in a very wide open space, like you don't have a huge area of vision with scrying, but all around him it's completely open. It's nothing but ground. But every so often, like a kobold will kind of start walking through your vision sphere, and he seems to be holding some type, like a big long metal tube of some sort, and then wanders by. And then you'll see an orc come by with a big old bag of something in his arms, and then they walk past, and then you'll hear the Dragonborn kind of shout out a few more orders. This goes here, that goes there, kind of thing. It's clear without an insight check that he's directing the setup of something, and that he's in a location either like you can't really quite tell if he's underground or if just he's in like an area of hard packed earth. But it is dark. Like there's a little bit of light. It's almost like candlelight or lantern light, further aiding the impression that he's probably somewhere underground, perhaps in a cave, maybe something along that line, or maybe just like straight up underground. You're not quite sure, but he's definitely in in some type of cavernous space.
And does it look like the kind of dirt or soil or whatever that was in or around Rowina?
No, definitely not. It's not sandy at all. It's like hard-packed clay or earth, or it's very dark and reddish in color.
And it doesn't make me think of Morag?
No, it definitely doesn't make you think of Morag. This is Morag. When you were there, it was very dark, gray-brown stone. A lot more gray than brown.
But
this
mostly
is
stone.
Yeah, it's mostly stone. This is more really the word I want to use is umbra, that dark reddish brown color. And it's very hard packed, like almost as though he's standing on stone or hard packed dirt or hard packed clay filled with iron and something like that. But it's definitely like not like Morag, not like Rowina. It's its own unique color and texture. You have I'm happy to, because the spell lasts for 10 minutes, so you can observe him for 10 minutes as he sits there and directs the individuals. You see a few more kobolds come through, occasionally a human. At one point, a pair of humans wearing robes, dark gray robes, walk up. The humans themselves are very nondescript. Because they're humans, you know. One has blonde hair, one has dark hair. The dark-haired one is shorter. The long-haired one, the blonde-haired one, is taller, longer hair. They come up and they just ask how things are progressing, and the Dragonborn tells them that it's going fine, but the interruptions make things go longer, so allow him to get back to his work. And it's a very simple exchange. But go ahead and make an insight check.
21.
21. You've encountered people wearing robes before, and while the robes themselves don't stand out as being too remarkable, the fact that you've seen cultists of the Dreamer cult wearing dark gray robes before, it's like, oh yeah, you know that this man works for the cult of the Dreamer. So it's not surprising that these people look like cultists of the Dreamer. Do you have any other questions about so that's basically all that happens during that time. But if you want any more information about details, you can certainly ask.
Would focus on any like location information. Like obviously everything that I could see from his little. What did you say? Was it a notebook? Was it
getting that description of his surroundings with the scrying spell is pretty comprehensive for location.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing more that
if he's making plans of like the next location to go to or like stuff like that.
Okay, so what he's been writing down is just it appears like they're unpacking something, and he's writing down what item it is that's being unpacked next and where it's being placed. He's not writing down like location information or anything like that. It's almost like he's building something,
right?
And he's cataloging things as it's being unloaded.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just describe like whatever the things are that I can, or whatever words he uses to name them or refer to them or whatever. And hopefully someone else in the group will know something about it, or even maybe Conclave members might hopefully have heard of things.
So I'm going to have Veil, since Veil's in there and vaguely listening. He'll put down his book for a few moments. And I'm just going to have him roll a Arcana check. He rolled a 15. That's not terrible. He'll be able to tell you with his 15 that the items that you listed off sound like parts to some type of arcane construction. It's hard to say what it is they're building without seeing a blueprint of it or anything like that. But a lot of the words that you listed off are used as arcane focuses or arcane focal points, and others sounds like stands or tripod legs or things like that, and others are like different arcane tools or arcane parts that gives him the impression that it sounds like they're building something. And given that you know that they kidnap an enchanter, and they also are working now within this dragonborn academic wizard type. The idea that they're building something arcane is a pretty good guess.
We have to save Mitchell.
We will. I promise we will make every effort to do that. Didn't we, I guess, hear from somebody in the Conclave, or someone had told us that when the dragons left Revancia, there was crates or something, like some of that wagon train, they stopped off somewhere, and 2 of the crates went to Sigmund, or they went that direction, and I thought Mitchell was going that direction with them or something like that. So I'm almost wondering if the hard-packed earths and clay she's seeing is maybe his minds. And that's where they might be. Because that would be a perfect spot to do something like that. You're going to have caverns, you're going to have underground areas, and we already know that a Conclave or a Syndicate member, not a Syndicate, well, a Syndicate member, yes, but a Dreamer owns all of that. So they could hide whatever they would be building there.
True. Are those mines on the way?
No, not even close. They're back in, was it Lavarin? Is that the name of that?
Lavarin is where Sigmund is based out of.
It was north of that. we were at his villa, which was just outside the city to the north, and his mines were further north of that. So that's kind of on the other side of the world right now, Miss Eloise. We will find him. I mean, I can ask Kozik to start looking into it. We can have the Conclave looking into finding him. I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen right away.
Is this still desert type surroundings?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely. Yeah, let's see. I'm actually looking for the map right now for y'all.
I remember something about some of the stuff on their little wagon train split off and did not come to Rowina. It went east in the other direction.
Yep.
If there's any comfort to you, lady, they're not using him for just manual labor. They're using him for his brain. He's in good hands for the time being, as long as they need him.
Well, that's actually kind of a bad thing that they're using him for his brain.
Make him do something that he wouldn't want to do. That he didn't want to do.
I understand that, but for the time being, they need him, and so he's safe. I'm sorry we can't solve it right now, but we will catch up with him. We will save him.
Make him hurt people. And it won't even be his fault, and yet it will.
Well, I wish I had comfort for you, but sometimes we all have to go through some shit.
Blood would be like, well, there is a way you could comfort. Never mind. He's gonna be. I'm sure that goes over Eloise's head too. She's like, "What?" Like,
goes over
no, never mind.
head. Yeah.
Never mind.
Hey, they gave her a gift.
I can't.
I blew that load early. Blew it early on, way too early.
I can't promise you when it'll happen, but I will promise that we will do our best to try and get him back. We've got a lot going on.
Ain't that the truth?
So, from here, what's the fastest way to Illinitica? Because if I remember right, it's right next to the river. And as I'm turning over this little box in my hands, I'm all like, I have water transportation.
Okay, well, I finally found the map that I was looking for, by the way. So, just so you all can see it, I just threw it up there for you. There's the Rowina down towards the bottom in the Jutla Waste. There's a red X between Rinoth and Corintha, and that's where you're currently at. That's the research outpost right there.
Right.
Lavarin, if you look to the upper right side of the map.
Upper left.
Upper right side. Lavarin is in the upper right.
He's talking about Lavarin, not where we're going.
Oh, I'm thinking Venuis. Okay, yeah. Lavarin, I see it.
Lavarin is in the upper right side, and that's where Sigmund was based out of. And you do know, based on... You've done some research on him, though you haven't collected on that in a bit. You do know that Sigmund owned quite a few mines. He owned marble and granite mines near Lavarin. He owned quite a few others in different areas, all in the Margarden Federation. So that's where he is. Randy Vika is up there. That's one of the stop-off places that the dragons went to, and then half of them went to Lavarin, and then the other half went to Rowina.
Blood would start looking in the stuff they had from Sigmund and see if there is anything about clay mines. If they had, maybe quarries where they would collect clay of stuff to, for buildings and things like that, and see if that's anywhere. If he owns such a place.
I thought you gave all the stuff to.
No, they copied it. They made copies of it.
Mia Sorolta, is there any chance you can scry on Seigman? You did meet him first person.
True. I can try.
I don't think you had that option as soon as he parted away from us. We weren't able to track him down, but I mean, if you still have the ability today.
Yeah, I can do it once more.
I think that would be a good one to scry on.
So you gonna do that?
Sure.
Okay. You sit down and you begin casting your spell. Oh, and yes, you were correct about the upper left side. That's Venuous. That's where you're supposed to be meeting Ohm.
Right.
So anyway, you settle down and cast your next scry spell on Reorc Seigman. Which I think you did this like once before a while back, and he was like sitting in a tent or something.
Did we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was a while ago, but yeah. So, you cast your spell. Let me go ahead and make a roll here real quick.
I like the names of the cities to the bottom right. Mirtona and Vesipurn.
Vesipurin. Yep.
Yeah, they have apostrophes in their names. They're just awkward. I like it.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you sit down and cast your spell. You are actually familiar enough with him that you gained a bonus, though. I believe. Yeah, firsthand, you have met the target.
+5, but he rolled real high.
20. So 20. That would be a 22 total.
Yeah.
So he's still, he's even with that, he would be able to resist it. So you cast the spell. Unfortunately, you know that he was able to resist it, and you were unable to scry on.
Well, will you try
I'm
again?
sorry, it was a stupid idea. Stupid.
Okay.
Blue ball making you go crazy over there, huh, bud? It's all right. Don't worry about it. We'll get you taken care of.
I had to kill a lot of people.
Miss Eloise, we'll try again. We'll find him. We will do what we can.
At least we didn't have to kill the Dragonborns we met. None of them had tails, though. Not special.
Let's just enjoy it every second of this. If simp was a word in this world, he'd just be like...
I don't know if tails actually do make a Dragonborn special, because your friend seemed to think that hers was normal, and there have been others.
She could also kill people with her thumb.
Nyasi had worked a long time to perfect every muscle that is in her body. I'm sure that ability is within you as well.
Yeah, but when I asked her about her tail, she seemed surprised that I was surprised she had a tail.
Well, she also seemed surprised that you didn't have full control over it, because you're special, and so is your tail. Just because something's not always enjoyable doesn't mean it's not special or good.
Well, yeah, but I don't know if maybe having a tail is just normal. You know, like some people have, like people who have hair or fur. It comes in different colors, and that's normal. Or.
You're correct. I mean, there are many types of tabaxi. I mean, there are different types of, humans. I mean,
Yeah,
that scar over Blood's eye. That's not exactly normal, but it is special. Because I guarantee he learned something from it, did he not?
Well, I did learn that you can give an equal and almost somewhat. My brother hit me in the face really hard, so I cut him in the same spot over the other eye. I mean, it was really stupid. But yes, I mean, I did learn not to let somebody cut me in the face.
And therefore it's special!
And we
Point proven!
We stopped training together that day. That was the last time we ever trained together, so I mean, yeah.
The Squall and Cipher of Loroupa, ladies and gentlemen. Final Fantasy VIII reference.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I have to imagine that it's maybe just a subspecies of Dragonborn. I mean, there's got to be other types. I mean, there's different colors, right? There's different colored humans. I mean, Kozak is dark-skinned, Liam is incredibly white, and
there's you don't wanna mess with the chromatics because.
Are they? Is it really that I've heard dragons are more evil if they're the chromatic? Does that mean like that's the colored ones, not the metally colored ones, right?
It's the kind of shiny.
So I mean, are they? Because I mean, that one was gold, right? The one we're looking at, but he seems bad. But aren't the gold ones supposed to be good?
Well, Dragonborn and dragons are very different, and regardless, everyone
with humanoid influence. I mean,
everyone's still a product of what they grow up with. So, I mean, they are who they are. There's no easier way to say it than that.
I'm going to cut in here real quick because Apollyon, all this talk about dragons and things of that nature, I'm sure must have piqued your interest and brought you back to paying attention to your group's conversation. And actually, as Eloise is talking about like the different types of dragonborns and stuff like that, you have some information about Dragonborn as well that you've recently gained.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and everything about Polly is special.
Yep. Indeed. You can see I'm not exactly a Dragonborn now, but I have the gifts of the dragon. Hey, did you guys know that Grovagar was the Zaim's son?
Liam looks real quick for a tail poking out of Apollyon's butt.
Make a perception check.
Sure. That one.
Yeah, you don't see a tail.
It's dark. Maybe there's a tail there.
I mean, I think we were guessing that, and then maybe Abia, that I would always guess as like maybe that because she's a blue dragon. I was like, is that his mom? But I don't believe. I don't know. Maybe it still is, but
honestly, we don't have any proof that Abier is a dragon yet.
I'd like to think.
We have suspicions, but we don't have any proof. She could just be a mean bitch.
Well, there's that too, but I think the Zaheem did give you a full breakdown, Apollyon.
Yeah, Apollyon, he did give you some information about Abir as well.
Well, I don't remember that. I'm sorry.
his niece.
And so it dies with Apollyon.
Although I know he gave her the dream root. I don't remember what else he said.
Yeah, I'll remind you. Abir is Grovagar's niece. She's not. She's not directly related to to the dragon at all. Her great grandmother was one of his lovers. That lover had a child, but then went on to have other kids, and so Grovagar is actually Abir's uncle. But Abir herself is not. Yeah, it is a bit weird. It's just a weird family tie. But
in public, she appears as a human.
Because she's not draconic whatsoever.
Okay.
She's fully human. She's not related to the Zaim in any way, shape, or form. Grovagar happens to be her uncle through a different side of the family.
Okay, I'm seeing the loose connection, how it works now. I gotcha. Okay.
So
families are weird.
Also, the Zaim happened to mention that she was responsible for bringing a few races over to Loroupa before the scar collapsed inward. Do you remember me mentioning that, Apollyon?
Nope. Which races?
Dragonborn and lizard folk and Minotaur.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
Someone from a different plane?
He was the perfect guy to interrogate and not remember what was said. Love you, Apollyon.
Oh, you know, I might have got bonked on the head in that last battle.
I believe he was doing experiments, or he set up something, and that's Apollyon's tribe was like the result, right?
Yeah, Apollyon's tribe
was doing magic experiments on us.
Well, I guess that's a good thing if we got the product of the experiment and you're on our side, yes?
Yeah, I suppose you could see it that way.
I'm trying to look at the bright side here. The Zahim is not on our side, but he's not against us. But he's destroying the town.
If he finds
out... he might be against you as soon as he learns who you are.
Right, if he found out what you guys did, right.
He doesn't know, I don't believe that it was us. So there's that. Unless he does somehow... And other than, I mean, things are going to get very, very interesting.
To be fair, he seemed to be attacking rather indiscriminately.
And he did scream
the whole town. Right, he didn't say blood, you motherfucker. So...
I hope he never does. I don't want... the fact, I mean, now I know that man pardoned really Apollyon. And that I was just kind of I was there. So the fact that my name has been in his mouth,
right? You were attached to his pardon.
Yeah, so
it had nothing to do with you.
It's not that I was I was just worried that the Zahim knew who the fuck I was. I didn't want that, but now I guess I am just his tabaxi friend.
So it could be worse.
It could be much worse.
It could be worse. I definitely wouldn't underestimate this guy.
You say as he's literally destroying the town he created.
He's a dragon, buddy. He's a big old ancient sapphire dragon. Yeah, I think that train has... Well, that ship has sailed, because we don't know what trains are. But that ship has definitely sailed, my friend.
The Uncle Trolley has definitely set out.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Forgot about them.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you all survived the perilous journey that you are on as well.
Yeah.
I kicked someone else into the lava.
I saw that. Yeah, you've got a thing about that.
I like to use my environment in my fights, and lava was part of the environment.
Yeah. We'll go with that. I mean, I guess if anybody had to attune to their new items, I would think maybe by now they have.
Yeah, you've spent at least a couple hours here now.
So now you've got this badass new bow. Which I guess, do you have that made up as an item, or do I need to go ahead and
I'll set it up for you after our stream today. So my next question to you all is, like, you've been sitting here for a while in that common room, discussing amongst yourselves. The Conclave people have basically left you all alone. Probably after a couple hours go by, one of them comes in and lets you know that they have heard from a few of their contacts in Rowina. The dragon is still attacking the city. He landed a couple times and kind of dug out a few buildings, like literally dug out a few buildings as though he was like searching in a few places.
Sure.
And he's basically a small resistance tried to rise up and fight him. And got decimated pretty much immediately.
Oh no.
Yeah, like there's a good amount of Thieves Guild members who died in that.
I can imagine.
And the last word they got was that the dragon is kind of circling the city right now, just looking down at it. And they're not sure if this is an end to the attack or if he's just deciding what next he wants to do or not. But the members that they've been able to get in touch with are keeping a low profile and hiding in their basements, and those that could have made it out of the city by this point. So the conservative estimate of death is somewhere in the hundreds, but not as bad as it could be.
Yep, everywhere we go.
Yeah, Blood just kind of have his head in his hands, but then he heard you say, about the Thieves Guild members dying, and he'll kind of like poke his eye up and he'll like look over at Kozak and it like the hand motions and be like, promotion? And he's kind of pointing at him. He's like,
Yeah, Kozak is gonna motion back that there's definitely going to be some opportunities whenever the dragon's done.
Can I suggest that his blood's lawful nature should be like reduced down towards the evil side one tick? That was pretty dark, man.
He's not.
Oh, all this death promotion. That's dark.
Well, hey, he heard they were Thieves Guild members, and so then he's like,
No, I feel like that's what are you, chaotic neutral?
He's chaotic neutral.
Yeah, no, that tracks. That track. Poe would do the exact same fucking thing.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, he's still just kind of like...
That's not darker than chaotic neutral. Fair enough.
Because he's just like, but they were the ones that caused this. And it wasn't you guys. This is fully on Veil, Eloise, and Blood here.
Well, I guess I'm glad I participated in the tournament while there still was a city to participate in.
Yeah, there might not be one for a while, so you guys might be the final champions. I mean...
That's right. Apollyon will remain undefeated.
I believe that makes us undisputed.
If you want to go that route, go for it. Yeah, it's going to take him a little bit to recover from that knowledge, but he's just like, oh. He's like, hey! He's kind of look up at Liam. He's like, hey, I've got my Bradford shot now. Oh! Wait, that was thousands. Never mind. That's right. I still win.
Fuck.
Liam's gonna hang his head and walk outside. How's the moon look tonight, Matt?
You go outside and look up, and it is dark by this point. It's probably around 9-10 o'clock in the evening. And God, what are the moon phases?
Paint me a word picture.
Ooh, Blood's got 320 dark vision with that bow now, so yeah, he could go hunting.
So yeah, right now it's actually sitting at a waning gibbous moon. So it's about 3/4 full, but not quite there yet. It's getting more on that fuller side. You sit there and you look up at it, and it's the same dark bluish gray color that you've seen all throughout your life. It's not like Earth's moon, full just a big old rock that's covered in craters. It's actually got some color to it. And it's much more uniform, though there's a little bit of white that kind of goes across it every now and again. For the most part, it's a dark bluish gray color that's just barely able to, like, the color differential between the black sky and the silvery blue gray color from the moon. It's very easy to see, and
Plenty
actually.
of contrast. Yeah.
And at this time of the year, you would actually also see another reddish brown star kind of right behind it. It's very faint. It only actually is. You can only see this star basically 1 to 2 months out of the year, depending on the year. But some people think that it's actually a good. It's a lucky star that is only visible during certain times of the year and grants people born under it a bit of good luck as well.
William's gonna take in the sights and pull out his glaive and just start doing some blind tai chi. Like, he's gonna close his eyes, everything's gonna be real slow, careful motions, everything, like, get the exact position in and stuff like that. He's just trying to recenter himself. Blood kind of shook in there. Like, just bringing Bradfordshire up so casually kind of buckled him real quick.
Yeah, definitely. Go ahead and give me a performance with advantage.
Sure. Performance. That'd be a 24, Matt.
Yeah, your careful, controlled motions with the glaive. You fall into just a standard rhythm of movements with your weapon. Going through the forms that you've been doing pretty much your whole life. And you do so quite successfully. You're standing in the desert sand. It's quite cool by this point, but even under the desert chill, you're still able to work up a pretty good sweat going through the motions of your weapon. You probably do so for about an hour or so. And Eloise, I imagine after a certain point you do realize that Liam is gone, that he went outside.
Oh yeah, I follow.
You do follow?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You go outside once about the point you realize that he was gone, and you see him standing there in the moonlight, hair glistening from sweat, shirt probably off and to one side as he's going through these motions, and you just kind of sit there and watch. The Conclave outpost is literally a dugout cave that they built in. They dug out into a hill and set up with magical means to make it more livable. And so the whole is basically a portal that has a wooden door and then an illusion over it. So you're kind of just sitting out there watching this for a little bit. And
for a little picture point, Liam's body's pretty similar to a Bruce Lee style. Like, he doesn't have a lot of muscle, but with his shirt off, you can see he's pretty toned in the muscle groups that are there, like a Bruce Lee body style. Everyone's probably seen him with his shirt off.
Oh, definitely.
Just real thin but very defined.
Yeah, swimmer's body, thin and reedy.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, at one point, instead of just sitting and watching, I'm gonna get up and start trying to like mirror and mimic movements.
Okay, yeah, no, I dig it. Give me a performance check with disadvantage.
Yeah.
Aww.
Of course. Of course. Charisma, not dexterity. Hey, that's not as terrible.
Right.
Not an acrobatics check.
But with disadvantage.
3!
Wow.
Yeah, so you start trying to mimic these motions using your staff, because that's what you have. You have Desi there, so you're kind of mimicking him as best as you can. And you know it's difficult because he's a master martial artist and you're a druid. And at one point you're twisting your staff around and you bonk yourself in the head, and you don't take damage, but it's enough to throw you off balance, and your tail just wraps around your legs. Give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. It's alright, you can take your disadvantage off at least.
This is true.
No.
Do I have something that gives me...
You have a stealth
boost?
bonus with the boosts. I don't think it
I
helps you
don't
with...
have the
No,
boots
She
She
doesn't have
gave
the
the
boots
boots
anymore.
away.
Yeah.
Oh.
So no, you shouldn't have any type of bonus to your dex
So
saving
why
throw.
is my dex save 0 and not -1?
You got this. You got +1 from something.
Probably the staff.
Yeah.
No, that gives me
Or
a +2 to
Oh.
attack and spell attack. It doesn't.
Okay,
It
no.
doesn't do anything
do,
when I save.
do you
It
have
doesn't-
a ring of protection or a robe of protection?
I have the cloak of protection. Does
That I believe that
Cloak,
adds to
I think,
saving
does
throws.
the same thing as
Yeah.
a ring. It gives you a +1 on saves and checks.
Yes, to
Yes.
AC and saving throws. Okay, there we go. That's where it came from. We're good. We're good. We're good. I thought my sheet was a little fucky. All right, dexterity save. Hiya. 5.
I mean, surprising no one, the tail just wraps around your legs, and you twist, and you fall, and you land in the sand and start rolling downward towards Liam. And I imagine you just kind of skid to a halt right as he's turning and swinging the glaive down, and you stop just in that final moment before you slice Eloise's head off.
I would like to say that in this time, I did mention that I was practicing with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
However, at this level, I have blind sight at 10 feet.
Mhm.
I got rid of my one of my Battlemaster abilities, one of my fighter abilities to deflect somebody's thing. So as soon as she's within 10 feet, I know exactly where she is.
Yeah, so your eyes are closed and you swing your glaive down and you notice that she's right there and you pull up at the last second and you halt the blade right as it's about to go at her neck. And it just pauses there. And then you look down. and well, I couldn't hear you. I assume you're like, hi!
Yeah.
Mia Sorolta, what are you doing out here? I coulda. Are you okay?
Uh-huh. Yeah. That special tail of mine, decided that I needed to fall down again.
So now, even if blood is within 10 feet of him in darkness, he can see even blood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, blood doesn't need to kill you, and plus he could do that from a lot further away than 10 feet.
No, but I don't have to be
300
surprised.
feet.
I don't have to be surprised every time you show up next to me in dim
okay,
light
okay.
anymore. So
That's fair. That's
You
fair.
know, that'll help, because nobody else can see him, but finally somebody.
Right, nobody else can see him, but I can within 10 feet.
So I think this is actually a great place to take a break, because I just looked at the time and realized it's later than I was expecting. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes, folks, and when we return, we'll find out what the debauchery or the Faab Five here wants to
don't go
do.
there.
Yeah, I know, right? What they want to do the next day at this Conclave outpost. So stay tuned.
Yeah, just get me started one day on the lift stories. I can go on for a while.
Well, we are back, but not for many lift stories, fortunately. Instead, we're back to see what the Faab Five are doing. We're going to go ahead and say that y'all took a long rest
After that,
Fair enough.
and it's the next day here in the hidden research outpost in the Margarden Federation. Breakfast is provided. It's very simple. They only have rations and stuff like that because it's a hidden research outpost. So cot in a back room and a little bit of gruel for breakfast is what you get. But hey, it's hot and free, so that's good at least. But apart from that, what are y'all wanting to do today?
Yes, it doesn't really taste that bad, but it's more of a texture thing. It just it gets stuck between your teeth and makes it feel like they're grinding, and it's just not. That's the unpleasant part.
Liam doesn't complain about the food. He pretty much eats it. But if you, he usually is a hand eater, and you might notice he starts eating with chopsticks just to be a little bit more clean.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you can eating gruel with chopsticks. It's got to be a little weird, but you can shovel into your mouth. That's not. But what is the plan for today?
Well, that's. Then we're gonna want to start heading out towards where we're going.
Yeah. How many days do we have to meet up with Omi?
I think Matt,
Probably
you told
can't
us it
call
was
him
gonna
Omi
be
in
5 or
person.
6 after the tournament. We had to get there, right?
Yeah, today is the 5th of Sheridan, and you basically have about what is it? So you basically have 3 days to. No, sorry, no, 5 days. Sorry, 5 days to get to Venuis.
And looking at a map, just how far would we be? I guess, do we know?
Looking at a map, I actually remember this from out of game. I was looking at the map. It's actually further to Venuis than it is to Rowina from where we are. Like it's a decent distance. But there is a river right next to Port Valena that runs straight out, and there's a teleportation circle in Valena, and we could have it used for the boat.
There's no teleport. Yeah, but we have to. I don't think we'd be able to get there. Just looking at the distance, would we be able to get there by boat from Valena in 5 days?
I guess this is my question to Matt. The direction of the river, does it flow towards Venuis, or does it flow against us?
It actually does flow against you. It goes west to east.
Okay, fair enough.
You discovered that when you traveled from Port Valena to Laverin. The river flowed towards Laverin. But I will also remind you of this: is that yes, you do have a teleportation circle access to in Port Valena. Now, from Port Valena, it would probably take you about a week sailing to get to Venuis. But Eloise has other options available to her.
Right, but the way back from Venuis, we might need a boat.
It's possible.
If we're not running for our lives, sure.
Yeah, if you're not running from your lives, yeah, sure. You could always go to use your boat away from Venuis to head back to Port Valena if you wanted to.
Liam's kind of looking over the piece of paper he got with the boat, because it has a few command words to make it work, and he's kind of grateful they're in one of the languages he doesn't speak, so he doesn't accidentally say any of the command words and open up a boat right here in the middle of breakfast table. So,
yeah, probably a good
thing.
I don't know the language, but I can pronounce it. That's all I can tell you.
Oh.
If I don't know the language, how can I tell you what language it is?
Well,
Can I look at it? What language is it in?
Well, let me look at what languages I have. Dwarven, Silver, Shunner, Common. We'll go ahead and say it's in, I don't know, give me a random table on languages. Draconic, sure, it's Draconic.
Wait, yeah, I mean...
Oh, well, that's...
No, I know how to pronounce it. We don't want to open the boat right here. It gets much bigger than this little box, trust me.
So
Did you say the command word to open it, Eloise?
No, he stopped me.
Okay. Aw.
I know.
I guess either from the port or from our hidden spot with Windwalk. Which one would be quicker? Do we know?
They look similar distance on the map, honestly.
So I like doing rough estimates because you know about how fast you can travel in your windwalk form.
At 100 feet per second.
Yeah, you're like super fast. You could probably if you teleported to Port Valena, you could probably get to Venice in 2 days with Windwalk.
Okay.
Setting out from where you are right now, it'd probably be more like 4 days. But either one would get you there in time.
I suppose it all depends on what do we want to do then. Where are we going?
Well, I mean, without Mitchell, is there really anything in Port Valena for us?
I mean, I suppose if people wanted to shop, but we could also try and check in Venice.
I don't
if there's
think
stuff there.
so, but this. If this map is correct, that is a massive forest. That could be quite fun.
We're not going into Illumythica unannounced.
Do we?
Blood will flat out say like we're not crossing those borders unless we have own and we meet their delegation. I won't do it.
Do we know?
Oh, that's elf territory. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yes, that's not just any forest.
I've not done much traveling south of the Great River.
Yeah,
Eloise, do we know what?
Do we know what kind of city Venice is? Do we know what's there other than Ohm?
Do any of you?
We could ask the researchers. I don't think anybody's ever been there. We could ask the Enclave people if they know what Venice
never been there.
Like.
No, none of you have been there. They did give you a little bit of information about Venice. Ohm did. Just as a reminder, Venice is a port town. It's actually built on a bridge across the river. The town itself is in the center of this gigantic bridge that spans across the river. And it's actually the only port of call that the elves will sell their goods from. So it's a pretty big town as far as elf goods are concerned. Ships from pretty much everywhere travel to Venice to trade with the elves. It's also a location that is very political in nature. I guess it's there's embassies. That's the word I was looking for. There are embassies from every single major country in Venice.
Interesting. So yeah, it's a melting pot town. Cool.
Yeah, melting pot town. A lot of trade goes through there. Pretty much people from everywhere, literally everywhere. That's anywhere in Loroupa. And what elves that do come out of Illumythica tend to do so through Venice.
I say let's do it.
Absolutely not allowed in the forest, is what you're saying.
Yeah, we would have to go around.
Well, that sucks. What if they have fun monkeys? You didn't even think of that, did you?
Be missed. The flying monkeys won't be able to touch us.
There's a lot. I mean, maybe there are monkeys in there, but there's
not flying monkeys, fun monkeys.
Oh, I didn't say anything about flying or fun, but there's a lot of dangerous creatures, and oh yeah, elves that patrol their forest.
You gotta understand, when you say elves, nobody in this group has encountered anyone besides Veil.
Well,
so if you want to paint a picture for us, paint it right now. You got the full setup, bud.
You've met a couple of them. They're very xenophobic. I mean, they haven't left their territory. What? This is the first time in a quarter millennium, 250 years. They're very secretive. You do not get into their territory unless they want you to, and they typically don't want you to.
You can just ask the trees.
Well,
don't the trees grant you permission?
You know what? There's a lot of nasty things in those woods. They stocked it well to keep people out. Most people don't make it through the forest.
Again, we will be missed. We will be missed. Nothing will be able to touch us.
We're gonna have to come out of mist form at some point.
Yeah, but not in the forest. We can go through the forest as mist.
We can go around the forest. I'm not taking any chances. I will go around the forest.
I mean, I'll follow my shiny hand. I'll follow my shiny hand.
We don't have any need to enter Illonithica.
No, we don't.
Unfortunately, it's just off limits, but if we have need to go there, then obviously we'll miss there. It will be super easy. Can't hear you, Matt. Nope.
Can't hear you, Peach.
He just gave us all the finger.
I mean, he does that all the time.
I got the finger at Deerberg's today. It was a rude old man.
Well, until he's back.
No, it was the main finger.
Oh, I know that.
I'm not even gonna show it online.
Oh.
No, not the heart with the diamond over it.
Okay, I figured it out. Yay, Matt. I know, that's really annoying. Anyway, I had a really funny bit that would have gone great like 5 minutes ago, where a black-furred tabaxi with green eyes pops their head in and tells you that the woods are just trees and the trees are just wood, but we kind of flew past that now with my being forcibly muted. So, oh well, it's okay.
Anyway, okay. So if it's closer from Port Valena, I suppose the smart move would be to teleport to Port Valena and then air float.
Sure. I suppose so.
Sorry, I'm distracted by the fact that my DM is so influenced by Sondheim.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
I think that blank right there, we were all waiting for Veil to chime in and tell us, like, yes, the most expedient, smartest path to use, but Veil's not here right now.
I imagine that Veil's probably, like, he's probably gonna be like, fine, but you're gonna have to buy me more chalk.
I'm going to thoroughly express to Veil, any day you prepare teleportation from now on, you need to also prepare that communication spell. Honestly, send a message. They need to be one in one. If you prepare one, you prepare the other. I'm tired of being tackled by people that are on our side.
Then he's guessing, like, so about that.
I'm guessing they could send word that we're coming.
Yeah, because
we are in a research outpost, by the way.
I guarantee he did not prepare sending this morning.
No,
So
he
because-
didn't. I know he didn't. That's why I waited till the day after to do it.
Yeah.
He'll
So
let it be like he'd ask a conclave. He goes, "Could you send word ahead that we're coming to the port?" I'm sure one of them can.
yeah, they kind of roll their eyes at you and say,
Please.
if you can't remember to prepare sending, at least carry a few scrolls around with you or something.
Well, I will make sure to buy a few, but talk to that one. He's pointed Veil.
No, she doesn't have
I'm
one.
sure back in Port Valena with their massive library, we could find one.
Okay. So you're gonna teleport to Port Valena?
I mean, he would go to them and be like, Mr. Kozik is not going to accompany us. He's going to stay here. Is there any way, with your contacts in Rowina, you can get him back home? And he might even be able to help you in the future with a safe house and things like that. And he'll look at Kozik and be like, hey, you kind of aren't supposed to be here. So maybe you can help him out.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check. And you have inspiration from anesthetic, so go ahead and do it at advantage.
Ah.
Nah.
16. It was that 2 was a 20, and it rolled to the 2. I was almost going to give him the Puss in Boots eyes. But...
So with the 16, Kozik just kind of shrugs and says, "If you can get me to Port Valena or to Rowina, I'll be willing to pass along a few things that I might know." And they sit down and start negotiating a little bit. And during that time, Veil has already closed his book, started scribing the circle, and you're just getting to the good part of the negotiations when suddenly the portal opens up. He looks back, "Come on, get inside," and steps on through.
I'd like to, while we're in Port Valena, I'd like to get some magical chalk for Veil. I want to do because that's one thing I know that he would like as a gift. So if I could get 500 gold worth of magical chalk while we're in town.
Okay. Yeah, actually, you could. Once you teleport into the Conclave in Port Valena, you're met by your research liaison, who does have a name, but I don't remember what it is offhand, and I'm not going to.
I don't remember
grab
which
it.
one we've got it. We've had a couple.
Yeah, you've had a few there. I don't remember who it is, but I'll look later. But they meet you at the teleportation circle because you actually did remember to call ahead this time, and she brings you down to one of the meeting rooms, so you can talk about a few things. While there, yes, you can buy 500 gold worth of chalk, but they also tell you that's pretty much tapping them out of the reserves they have to sell on hand right now.
I'll ask I'll ask Veil real quick if he cares that we're buying them out of chalk, and I already know his answer.
Oh yeah,
so
of course
I'm
you would
okay
care.
with that.
Okay, yeah, absolutely.
We could have gotten some chalk in Venice. I'm sure they might have.
I didn't
special
think about
elven
it till
chalk.
now. It's the perfect gift for him. I got everybody a gift so far. I still got to find one for Polly, but
Okay.
yeah.
But yeah, you can definitely do that. You also have a contract that that you had signed for, and they can go ahead and pay you off for that. So you sit down and you spend a couple hours with your research liaison. During this time, Veil's probably still reading his book. those who participated in the tournament, which is Apollyon and Liam, each of you are paid 1,500 gold pieces for participating in the tournament. That was just the amount for anyone from the
Our
Conclave.
lives on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so did we.
That was an
Unfortunately,
instant death tournament.
Unfortunately, you were not able to acquire the dream root, so you did not get the platinum
bonus
that was offered as a bonus.
Right.
Now, how many heads did you collect while traveling to Rowina?
Young blue dragon head, 3 blue dragon wormling heads, 3 Yuan-Ti pureblood heads, 1 Yuan-Ti speaker head, and 1 Yuan-Ti abomination head.
Now, when you
9.
pull out the Yuan-Ti, your liaison kind of recoils at that and is like, oh my god, you killed these Yuan-Ti are not monsters. They're not mindless beasts that we track their migration for.
Oh, but they were slavers, and you were not specific on the heads that you request.
Yes,
if
we
you
were.
Wish for monster heads, then you need to be more specific.
And when I pull out the Yuan-Ti abomination head, I'm like, and this was the ringleader.
And that's like pretty that's interesting, but they're people.
We don't need to be paid for those. I fully, guys, it'll be okay.
I completely disagree. We need to be paid. You ask for heads.
Gold
It's
for
only
heads.
guys.
Show me where in the contract it says Yuan-Ti do not qualify as heads we can collect.
They show you the wording that literally says monster heads, and there's actually an addendum in the fine print that refers to another book that you should have read but guarantee you didn't, a part of the field manual that lists types of creatures that are the things you hunt, and they list actual living sentient beings that you shouldn't hunt, like a sphinx, for example. They would not pay for a sphinx head because a sphinx is a sentient and intelligent creature. And while dragons technically are too, they're also more of vermin or pest or things that tend to prey on other people a lot more than the very rare things like a sphinx. So that's why they do pay for those type of creatures.
That the Faab Five rule.
Tried to kill us. We just killed them first.
And the lawyers actually come out and HR comes out and they spend a bit of time going over this stuff with you about what is considered sentience and all that stuff, and they will not pay for Yuan-Ti heads, and they explain that while
the worst game of D&D ever involved the HR department.
And I go get like a potted plant that one of them has in the corner, and I'm just like, it's sentient.
Oh God! So in other words, Eloise is just making this conversation go on a lot longer than any of you wanted, as they start debating like.
Apollyon's not listening to any of it. He's like admiring his reflection in his gold belt.
Probably.
As instructions. And I say, open notebook, and I pull out my notebook. It's been a little while since I've updated you as to our comings and goings. So, page 1. I got the fancy glaive.
Oh my god.
Page 2. I lost my fancy glaive. Page 3. We got to ride a pack of horses. Page 4. I walked through a tree. And page 5. I want a boat!
Wow.
Fully updated, Your Honor.
Yeah, you do get that, and you pass that over, and those of you who actually do take notes on the things you're supposed to, can pass around the research notes as well. And you are paid the.
You have homework.
Yeah.
We don't need the gold for the UNT, guys.
You don't get it, and they do at the end. The lawyers actually tell you, like, if something attacks you and you have to defend yourselves, by all means do so. We're not telling you don't kill things that try to kill you first. We're just saying that we don't track the migration of these type of people because they're people, and we do research on animal behavior and things like that.
Of course, you sound like very thorough scientists.
Yeah, they are. But eventually, but in the end, you do get paid for the heads that you did collect. How many was that total minus the UNT?
3.
3?
No, it was 3 wormlings and a blue or young one, right?
Yeah, we had that dragon cadre.
It was the young blue dragon.
I thought it was 3 wormlings, but
Oh,
I
yes,
think
3
we had 3 or
wormlings.
4.
Yeah. And then
so that's 4.
And then it was the one abomination, the one
for that.
something, and then 3 purebloods.
Yeah, so we just get the regular heads.
So 4.
Not the sentient creature heads.
So an extra 200 gold for that.
Yeah.
Give it to Veil. Let it buy more chalk.
Well, they don't have any more chalk.
Well,
so.
you can get it from. I was to say you can get it from Mitchell's, but
it'll buy ink. It'll buy paper. It'll buy.
That's fine. That's fine. Just remember that you have to. That blood or that Veil gets 200 extra gold. That's fine.
She didn't hear that.
Right here. Oh, I got his character sheet up. I'll just add it. But apart from that, the conclave, your liaison reminds you that you are due in Venuis in a couple days. Master Ohm is already there, and the expedition sounds like it's teaming up to be a pretty good one.
Did he teleport there? Do you have a circle for us to study so we could just like poof it?
They reply that no, they don't have a teleportation circle there. Master Ohm.
More than one a day? Once a day?
Oh yeah, it's just a spell slot. It's a 5th level, so technically.
Yeah, he's got a few.
So he's got 2.
Yeah, he's got 2, so he's only used 1 so far.
But he can upcast it. It won't do anything special, but he can use a higher spot. So.
Correct.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask at least.
But is there anything else you want to do in Rowina, or not Rowina, in Port Valena now that you're here?
I believe, real quick, I'd like to just pay for an extra week, I guess. Maybe 2 more weeks of stable for the horses and carts.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Stabling for the horses and the carts, it's not very expensive there in Port Valena. I want to say it was like something like 20 gold for the week or something like that.
Sure, I'll give them 25 so they buy extra apples.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to do it for just 1 more week, it'll be 25 gold. If you want to do it for 2 weeks, it'll be 50 gold.
We'll do 50.
Okay.
55 for extra apples.
Gonna go to Mitchell's Mercantile to see if any of his employees are still trying to rebuild, I guess.
Yeah, something going on there. What's the sitch?
Okay. So you while Liam leaves the conclave and heads to the stables, you're heading out to go check out Mitchell's place. Are you going by yourself, or is anybody going with you?
Oh yeah, no, she's not going alone. Blood will go with her.
Okay. Apollyon, what are you doing in Port Valena?
I'm gonna fly around each night on patrol, looking for I don't know, any bad guys or anybody like lurking around doing something they're not supposed to.
Well, we're not quite there yet. It's the morning of the 5th, and you're in Port Valena. So
It's like
what I'm asking
sunrise?
is, yeah.
Maybe
it's
you're just parading
like early
around
afternoon.
your shiny 2 belts.
Yeah, it's early afternoon.
Baby oil salesman.
You can certainly go patrolling this evening, but while Eloise and Blood are heading to Mitchell's, and Liam went to the stable to set up stabling for the next couple weeks, I was asking what you were doing for the rest of your day in Port Valena.
Training. I'm gonna I'll go down to the docks by the ships and stuff and see if I can like help anybody like building a ship or anything, like lifting anything heavy. Do some extreme training.
Sure, absolutely. So you go ahead and give me an investigation phase, because I feel like we can do this one pretty quick. And while you're doing that, Eloise and Blood, the two of you are heading to Mitchell's, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My rolls are so bad.
Wow, yeah. Okay, so with a 5, you go making your way down to the docks, and it's filled with people bustling about. I'm going to say even with a 5, you're able to find a ship that's being built. There's shipwrights in a port. And it's not the biggest one in the world, but it's something. Go ahead and make for me a persuasion check to see if that you can talk your way into having them let you help.
My God.
Jeez.
Dude, you keep rolling lower.
Yeah, you
He's
really
weakening. No.
do. Okay. So, you start asking. You try to convince them to let you help with the ship, and finally, like it takes you a little bit of begging and flexing your muscles, but they eventually allow you to dig ditches for them. So you're given a shovel.
That orc captain that he boinked that one time when we were coming back from Fayweave Hollow.
Do I see that guy anywhere?
I mean, he specifically asked to look for a ship being built. He wasn't looking for the orc captain. So he who knows whether or not he's here.
I can later though.
Yeah, you could later. But like they allow you to dig a ditch, and other than that, they have no interest in allowing unskilled labor touch their ship. Do you accede and do it anyway, or do you like just peace out?
I guess I'll try it. I'll show them. I'll dig that ditch so fast and so good they'll have to let me do something else.
Oh yeah, because Apollyon can burrow.
Yeah,
That's
you
right,
absolutely
20-foot burrowing speed.
You absolutely can. So this is kind of right up your alley. So go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage to see how good of a job you do digging that ditch.
It's a 19.
Yeah, with a 19, you dig that ditch like it's nobody's business. You use your burrowing speed to get it done a lot quicker than anyone thought you could, to the point that like you're doing work that nobody needs you to do. And you just kind of get into it. You're the product of a sapphire dragon. You love to burrow, so your afternoon is pretty much taken up doing that.
Veil is reading, obviously.
Obviously. Blood and Eloise. You do know where Mitchell's shop is, and this is the first time you've actually stopped and gone to look at it. When you arrived...
We stopped before we went to Rowina.
Oh, have you... Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it was still, I think it was still kind of like
on fire.
smoldery and smoky. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. I remember now. Well, so you have seen it once before, and at this point, when you arrive, it looks like it's been partially cleared away. Like they're starting to dig out a lot of the debris that was left over from the fire. There's very little left, but the frame that was still stuck in the ground. And although like you can see signs of work that people have been actually moving things about and starting to cart away some of this stuff. Nobody's actively working on it right now. So there's nobody actually like over it or watching it. There's like nobody standing guard or anything like that. It's just a big burnt out husk of a building.
Who was there when we... Was it... I want to say Mitchell's sister?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember his. I don't remember his crew, who they were.
His sister was his.
His sister worked in the store with him.
She was there.
Right.
No, I don't think she. Did she?
Yeah, she did. She was actually his business partner.
Okay. Yeah. So she was there. I think I'm gonna ask around to find her.
Okay. Who are you asking around? Because, like, other than the fact there are people out on the street, it is the middle of the day, and people are going to and fro. There's nobody watching the ruin.
Are there...
So there's not people
They're
currently
nearby shops?
rebuilding it.
One of their, like, neighbors. They're one of the shops that are, like, next door.
Okay.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. There are a few shops nearby. There's a small general store. There's a fruit stand across the street as well, and there's a farrier as well. Those are the three nearby shops. Whom would you like to speak to?
General store.
Okay. You walk over to the general store, a little place called Arbin's Goods and Sundries. You step inside to a quaint little shop. Mostly what they have on their shelves are non-perishable goods, things of that nature, things that can readily get in bulk, like beans, rice, that sort of thing. They sell a lot of products like household goods and cleaning supplies and things of that nature. And behind the shop is a tiefling woman. Yellowing skin, bright blonde hair, and two very small horns coming out on either side of her forehead. She smiles at you and she says, "Welcome to Goods and Sundries. How can I help you?"
Was actually looking for Mitchell's sister.
Oh.
But nobody
yes,
seems to be around today.
Well, yes, That was unfortunate, wasn't it? They were both very nice people and good neighbors to have, because a wealthy shop like that definitely drew in customers. Unfortunately, I haven't seen the Mitchells in some time. Once the shop was burned down and the guards concluded their investigation, Mitchell's workers were there for a few days packing things up, but I haven't seen them in at least a week.
Do you know if they're still in town? Do you
Why
know if they
am I
were
trying to do
staying
this
somewhere?
the long way? While Blood asks her that question, I'm gonna plop myself down, pull out my bowl, pull out my water skin.
Okay.
I'm gonna spy on Mitchell's sister.
She's an eccentric. Don't mind her. And Blood will just slip her 10 gold. He goes, just forget that. Do you know if they lived in town? Do you happen to know any information about them personally?
I mean, I met them a few times. They're nice people. We would occasionally, she and I would chat, and give me 1 second. I need to pull up a PDF.
I remember something in the heist about you guys finding like a flask. Also, did you guys ever hand that over? What was that?
It was just a platinum tankard, I think. So it's just it's a pimp cup.
Oh, okay.
Pretty much what it is.
Here we go.
Interesting.
Michaela Mitchell is her name. She and yes, I would speak with her on occasion. She was very, very kind to me. Less so to her brother, but I think siblings. They tend to sometimes get on each other's nerves.
Yeah. Well, just kind of rub his scar. Yeah, you could say that. Oh.
They did live here in town. They lived in the upper part of the shop.
Oh.
Now, I did see Michaela right before she disappeared. She was saying that she was heading back home to their parents, hopefully to begin an investigation to find her brother.
Do you happen to know if she said where her parents live?
She kind of thinks to herself a little bit. I am going to get to your scry here in a second, Eloise. Yeah, with an 18, she actually does remember. Let's see here. What is the name of that town? Yes, I believe that she said that they were from Ampleforth in the Republic of Hyrule.
Oh, that is not down the street.
Hey, they're from the same region I am.
And you said that she was going to be investigating her brother's disappearance. Okay.
She said that that's what she intended to do, was try to find her brother. Yes. His body was not recovered in the rubble.
No, it wouldn't have been.
And he is considered a missing person.
Somewhat. Well, you're concentrating,
Yeah. So we should get to that. Go. You cast your scry spell. I'm going to see how well she does. Because, Fuck. Wow. Yeah, I'm like rolling really, really well.
Damn. +5 puts it at 22, but 23 beats it.
Yeah, unfortunately,
22 would have matched it. Damn, that's a good roll.
It really was. An 18 was a great roll on that die. So unfortunately, you plop down and cast your spell, but you're unable to scry on Michaela Mitchell.
I probably got Hyrulean, alright.
Yeah, she doesn't know it's you scrying on her.
You said it was...
yeah.
Airedale is where they went? Or no, Ampleforth. Sorry, Ampleforth.
Ampleforth, yeah.
So
they're from Ampleforth.
The
just southwest.
Yeah.
Southwest of Ravansi, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Well, that's a lot of useful information. I appreciate that. We are actually trying to find Mitchell ourselves, so maybe we can hook up with this Michaela. Is Michaela her name?
Michaela.
Maybe
It's spelled weird.
Contact with her.
It's Mickela.
And I suppose he looked down at Eloise. He goes, Maybe when she's finished, we can go talk to the god, see if they have any information. Blood will just peruse while she's looking at her bowl.
It wouldn't take very long. I would just like start concentrating on it, and then like as my eyes start to shift white and get covered over, and I'm really getting into it, all of a sudden the water just like you know when something drops violently into like a bucket of water or a bowl of water, you don't just get like the nice little gentle ripples. It's like splashes and gets ripples. That happens. I'm like, you stupid, stubborn Mitchell!
Problems? Miss Eloise? And he just sees that face. He's like, you know what? Let's go talk to the captain of the guard. I mean, I'm not wanted anymore, so that won't be an issue. Maybe they have some more information we can get from them. What do you say?
How many sending scrolls I can buy from the Conclave?
I don't know.
No, you'll have to go to the Conclave to ask, but as you're getting back up from your seated position on the floor, I just have to ask everybody. You two are at the general store. Apollyon, you're digging your ditch. Liam, you've paid for the horses. You've probably gone into the stable and spent a little time hanging with Gravel and talking to him, I imagine.
Absolutely,
probably. So, just out of curiosity, what is everyone's passive perception?
Mine is 15.
19.
Mine's 10.
What teen, Alyssa?
19.
Blood?
Pretty perceptive.
20.
Okay. Blood and Eloise. The two of you, I imagine, Eloise, you're getting up off the floor with your bowl. Blood kind of helps you up a little bit to your feet. And in that moment, both of you see to your right, the front window of the shop. It's a glass window with some curtains on it, and to one side you see a human's face poking, just looking in the window. They have a hood on their head, but you can clearly see it's a human male's face, kind of scruffy, little bit of scruff on his face, and he's looking in the window, looking directly at the two of you, and in that moment your eyes lock, and he turns and walks away.
And after him.
Oh, Blood will be like, let's not run. We are going to follow.
No, I
Do you
was just...
physically stop me from running?
Yeah, because Eloise just took off. She went running, so I'm going to need the two of you to make athletics checks, both of you.
Fucking great. The -1 against the fucking beefcake over here. Oh, it shouldn't be an advantage, but the first.
Wow, that's actually really funny. So
second roll.
So here's what I'm going to say happened. Eloise immediately start running towards the door. Blood, you grab onto her and hold on, and you're trying to dig your heels back, but she's like stronger than you and is starting to pull you towards the door along with her.
I mean, he'll just be like, he goes, "Do not run after him. We will find him. I promise we will track him down." Like, but if she's gonna just keep pulling, I mean,
when you start talking, I'll stop.
Okay. So you manage to stop Eloise before she gets to, like, your hands on the doorknob, getting ready to pull it open, but you stop, listening to Blood.
Like, running after him may not be the best. We want to follow him to see where he's going.
I open the door gently.
If you want to follow him on foot, I can go in the buildings. It's like, I mean, if you want to make a big stink, I'll get up on the buildings and I'll hunt him that way.
and I start walking nonchalantly out of the building.
Okay, so what I want from Eloise is a deception check, and I want a stealth check from Blood.
Love it. Love it.
And he's
10.
23.
So I imagine Eloise opens the door, pulls it open a little harder than she intended to. It kind of flaps a little bit, and she just goes strolling out, arm up, arm down, arm up, arm down.
At Blood, and I wink.
Yep, big wink, and then you start whistling just a little bit.
You know what? She actually is not. She's the perfect distraction.
Yeah, Blood, like, you pull the hood over your head and just try to keep to the building and toward the shadow as much as possible. It is still the middle of the day.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, but you're crafty and you're clever and a quiet little kitty. And you slip around side, feeling fairly certain that you're not seen, and make your climb up to the roof of the building. As Eloise is just kind of
willing it.
Yeah.
You know,
go ahead, Eloise, and make a perception check to see if you see the dude that's walking away as they try to meld into the crowd.
24.
Nice.
24, not bad.
Wait.
Yeah, so you see a big crowd of people starting to move along the street, going from shop to shop, you know, perusing and that sort of thing. And you see the guy in a cloak slip in amongst them. He's trying to hide. He's trying to become inconspicuous, but you are watching for that cloak. You've encountered these people before, so you know what you're looking for now. And you spot him as he waits for the crowd of people to get to an intersection, and then he darts really quick down an alleyway, and the crowd moves on. But you definitely saw where he went.
Can we say it's because he's got a very recognizable mullet?
Sure, I'll allow it.
If he darts,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna run.
Okay, you go running up to the edge of the alleyway. Blood, I imagine you see this as well. Now you're on the opposite side of the street, on the roof of a building right now.
I mean, if he starts running after if she starts chasing him, I mean, he's gonna have his bow out, and he's gonna really think about just wounding, like hitting a guy in the kneecap or something like that to take his ass down.
Well, what I'm saying, like, he didn't take off running as though
Okay.
he saw he was seen. He's trying to dart away.
He's trying to
like
get,
he's just trying to stealthily get away, and he's doing a really fucking good job of it. But Eloise is a lot more perceptive than he is stealthy, and you see her suddenly, like, she's walking, doing her nonchalant thing, and then suddenly she goes running towards the edge of an alleyway.
Okay.
Now imagine you stop there, Eloise, probably. Because you don't.
The corner, and I'll peek.
Okay, give me a stealth check and a perception check.
Jesus.
Oh, get it.
Remember,
Keep those
she
good
doesn't
rolls
have-
coming,
I don't
girl.
have the boots anymore. So that's a 6 on stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
She couldn't do
And
anything.
still
about
whistling.
that Or anyway.
Is 26.
Yeah.
That she can.
Wow.
Nice.
So what happens is like this guy is darting. Blood, you go ahead and give me a perception check as well.
Eloise
He's
still whistling.
yeah, he has his hood up, and he's moving quick, but then he turns and looks, and in that moment your head is like literally around the corner, right there, watching. And so he sees you and you see him, like your eyes lock in that moment. And he turns and starts running. And as he does that, Blood, you see this as well. You see the fact with that 24 that you rolled, that you see him the person in the cloak, he's down the alleyway. You probably had to jump from one roof to another. So go ahead and make me an athletic or an acrobatics check real quick.
Yeah.
Before we get to that. Because you do have to do this to...
Oh, baby!
Oh, yeah.
31.
Yeah, you immediately, when you saw Eloise running, you just jumped from one roof to another, went skidding to that way you could see down the alley. You see him turn, you see him look at Eloise, and then turn and just bolt as fast as he can. You have a reaction right now, because you are technically faster than either of these fuckers. So you have a moment to react as you see him turn and run.
I mean, and I guess I'm on the building above them, or I'm looking down the alley?
You're on the building above them, looking across the street towards an alleyway.
Yeah, his attention is totally on Eloise right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, he'll just he'll take a shot for his leg.
Do you have an ability that allows you to specifically target a leg?
No,
anything like that?
I mean, I guess I don't know if it ever got updated with the Tasha stuff, but there is that careful aim, or the thing that rogues get the
steady aim. Steady aim gives you advantage on something. I was just asking.
I mean, he would just. Well, I mean, he would just. I guess aim low.
Otherwise,
no. So the reason I'm asking is because, if you had an ability that did that, it would be a different type of roll. But if you don't have one, it's just you're doing a specifically targeted shot at a fast-moving target, so the DC is just different. Okay,
it's a little higher.
You just want to put sharpshooter on, you know.
So what I want you to do is I want you to do a if you're going to use steady aim, which I will allow you to do. You're going to make a straight roll. No advantage, no disadvantage. Because you would have disadvantage, but you also have, you're using steady aim, so that cancels each other out. So straight roll, minus the 5 for the sharpshooter. If you can hit a DC 18, you hit him in the leg.
Since I don't have the new weapon set up, but that is a +3, I'm just gonna do the regular one. It's his tier. The hand crossbow
have +1 arrows right now.
Yeah, well, the hand crossbow was +1, but we'll just add 2 to that since you don't have the +3 weapon set up for me. Yeah, and he'll be using his the arrows that Liam gave him. So
yeah,
so it's gonna be +2 with from this.
Oh baby.
And that is -5, so an 18.
So it's exactly an 8
DC. Oh wait, so
+1 for the arrow. +1 for the arrow.
Yeah,
so
that is
+1 above.
Well, the +2 for fighting style, +1 for the arrow, -5.
Yeah, so 26
plus
minus
the
5
2.
is 21.
Yeah, so it's really a 25, so it's a 20.
So so you absolutely hit it.
Yeah.
Roll your damage. Well, because it's a +3 longbow.
Yeah.
So it's going to be 1d8 plus 3 plus your dex plus your sneak attack. And I'm just curious whether or not you killed this guy as you shoot off his fucking leg.
Should I? Since we use sharpshooter, should I be putting that on as well?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You took the -5.
No, it's not. I mean, it'll be minus the force. Ooh, not bad.
Crap.
Not bad.
28.
Well, minus the force, so 25.
Yeah. The force is part of it.
25 points of damage, which is more than enough to kill this guy. So what happens? What happens is this. Blood is kneeling there. He has a moment to take aim, lines up his shot, fires. This +1 arrow from a +3 bow goes flying like a fucking ballistic bullet through the air, bisecting the leg. The leg goes one way. His body goes the other as he's trying to run, and he just teeters over and drops as blood just explodes out from the severed limb. Eloise.
I'm running.
She's running after him.
I'm gonna grab his leg. I'm gonna bring it to his body, and I'm gonna try to cast Cure Wounds.
We've got diamonds.
If it helps, then I will cast it at a higher level.
So while normally we just do that when someone does a kill shot, or when someone dies and an enemy dies, he just dies. However, in this instance, like, we're gonna treat them as though they're actually a person, and he has a few moments to, usually it's about 9 seconds where it takes time to bleed out and then dies. So as you're immediately grabbing his leg, you run over, you shove it against him. You pump. You're probably how worried are you? How high of a level would you pump into a cure wounds spell?
Level 4.
Okay. Roll your
leg was amputated by an arrow.
Yeah, it literally was. Roll your spell.
Can blood like an arrow?
Blood
He hop across and get down there as quick as he could to help subdue him when he gets up.
You cast this spell, forcing this healing energy about the time blood is climbing down. You have a climb speed. It's not a big deal.
Oh, yeah. I gotta say, I love the full-on Tarantino blood spurt moment.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Remember in Kill Bill when the silhouette goes and it just chop off? Psh, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there are some spells that can restore limbs. Restoration is one of them. However, if you're just pumping a cure wounds spell into them, it's not going to reattach the limb. It will heal skin over the wound and close it up so it's not bleeding out anymore. So you do send a surge of healing into him as you're holding his leg against the body, but it doesn't reattach.
Doesn't work like that. Okay, that's a bigger spell.
Yeah, it's a bigger spell than what you cast. So you're hitting it against him as his eyes kind of flutter open. You're just hitting the stump of this severed limb against it. Yeah.
That's not what I wanted it to do.
I'm sorry, I tried.
That's all right.
I don't know what happened. Your leg just exploded off of your body.
Hey, some peg legs live full, happy lives.
Well,
as you're saying that, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened. Your leg just exploded off. You look backwards, and there's blood from a stone just sauntering down the alleyway behind you.
He's slow walking, doves or something. Actually not doves. We're gonna have crows fucking flying out behind him.
As he's holding this black bow in his hands.
And he's just gonna walk up and he's just gonna pull the string back at the guy, and he's like, "That leg belongs to me now."
Oh no! Dirty.
Leg didn't just spontaneously.
It did not, Miss Eloise.
Oh, and then I'm just gonna
throw it aside.
It's like, that leg is mine. Why are you following us?
So much less interesting, blood.
So I imagine you're being pretty damn intimidating right now as you're standing over this man who's barely conscious. His eyes are fluttering, but his eyes focus on you, and you look down and you say, why are you following us? Give me an intimidation check.
Give him advantage.
Yeah. Oh no, you can have advantage. You can have advantage for this.
I'm folding the severed leg. I'm like,
but...
I'm folding the severed leg, and I'm like, you had some knee problems.
15's all right.
Yeah, 15's all right. You say this, and your eyes lock, and you're feeling pretty confident as how scary you are right now. And the man looks up at you, and he smiles.
Uh-oh.
And he says, "You know why I follow you. The dreamer will end you, and he bites down on that hidden tooth in his mouth.
He doesn't get a chance. He gets one through the forehead.
So as he's biting down and that poison is slowly going down his throat, you just pull an arrow and point blank.
Arrow. It makes its own arrow.
That's right. It does make its own. It's just a point blank shot with magical energy, and it goes right through his forehead. And he falls to the ground dead. And that's where we're going to end things for this evening. Worst episode ever, huh, Liam? But yeah,
was a
fucking HR department. Bring in the HR department. How dare you?
Yeah, how dare he not wear a symbol announcing his allegiance to the world?
Oh, but you've described these dreamers as wearing these cloaks each time, and like. I almost rolled 30 on my perception. I couldn't have clocked that it was a dreamer cloak.
I mean, I thought when I was describing the fact that he was a dude in a cloak, I thought you were gonna pick up that he was a dreamer.
Pretty sure we know whoever's following us at this point are bad people.
Yeah. But in that moment, I'm also going to say, just, the two of you are looking at one another, knowing the fact that, yeah, of course this is a dreamer. Who else would it be? Oh, shit. Where's Apollyon and Liam and Veil?
Also, we just killed someone in, the middle of town.
Oh, yeah, there's that, too. So we'll deal with that.
Blood just killed someone in the middle of town.
In a back alley.
Oh no, we'll get to that. Don't worry, we'll get to all that stuff.
Great, awesome.
Yeah, we'll take care of all that next week. So thank you for watching, everybody. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We hope you had fun listening to some great role play and some interesting little tidbits about the world of Loroupa. Come hang out with us again next week when we find out what our heroes actually do here in Port Valena, now that they know that, of course, the Dreamers are running around looking for them. Where else would they do? But hey, we'll find out. So, on behalf of everybody here in the Faab Five, I just want to say thank you once again for watching. Have a great evening. I'll see you next week. Good night.
Peace.